How do we know when we're lonely? That seems like it would be a really, really easy question to answer. I'm lonely. And within that question, there seems to be layers like a Brussels sprout or an artichoke or a chrysanthemum. Lots of different petals, lots of different leaves seem to be within that. There are the connections that we have with one another. We might be lonely for connection with another person. We might be aware that our connection with ourself feels frayed. We might feel like in the midst of tremendous change, we don't know where our road is, what ground we're walking on. We might feel a little lost. Our sense of direction might be a little wonky, as if someone has taken a very powerful magnet and held it really close to our compass. And so the needle of our compass is spinning around in circles. Lonely is such, it's like a cave, this system of caves where there are stalactites and stalagmites. I can't remember which one grows down and which one grows up, but they're pointy. And sometimes those caves are breathtakingly beautiful. Because sometimes, even in the hardest road, there is something beautiful that occurs. That beauty does not erase the pain of loneliness any more than the clouds of a thunderstorm erase the sun. The sun still remains even when we can't see it. The pain of that loneliness still remains even when a laugh bursts out of our chest and brings a smile. So how do we know when we're lonely? And if we take that question and we turn it inside out, how do we know what we're lonely for? I just listened to a very powerful podcast while I was raking the yard in the sunlight. It's supposed to storm terribly tomorrow, so I wanted to get out and get some vitamin D. Haha. And I'm going to include the link to that podcast in the description below. It's from NPR's Hidden Mind, Hidden Brain, Hidden Mind. Can't remember. But it was about loneliness. And it made me wonder about all of the different connections that we have in our lives. I've often said that we're like a tapestry. We have so many different lines, the weft that goes across that gives us the structure. And then there's the warp, the up and down that gives us the structure. And then there's the weft that gives us the pattern. And even on the best days when we never get confused and stagger over our words and stumble in the wrong way, even on the best days, the tension of the warp, that strain that gives our life that sense of purpose can feel too tight. It can constrain us. And when our world turns upside down, either after a really massive sneeze, and anyone who's ever heard me sneeze, or a deep change in our life, or a shift in a relationship with a loved one, or an upheaval in our community, or a global event that brings us all to a staggering halt, wondering, what the hell? Whatever that change is, that warp, those warp threads that give us the tension that holds us upright, can sometimes feel so tense, then how do we know when we're lonely in the midst of all that tension? And I've learned something today in listening to that podcast. I learned about the power of solitude, even just a moment or two. And that moment or two can be as brief as 3 breaths, to just allow all of the sounds that are present within our body, within our mind, within our environment to just be present with us. And I kind of wanted to try it with you. You game? 3 breaths, that's all. And to just notice what you feel on your skin, what you hear with your ears, what you see with your eyes, whether they're open or closed, what you taste and feel on your tongue, what you smell. 3 breaths. There is an ocean of experience within us. And within that ocean moves Leviathan of hope that goes so deep down into the depths of our ocean and can rise all the way up to the top. How do we know when we're lonely? I will ask that. And then I will breathe. I'm Catherine Gabriel-Jones. And through the caves across the ocean, beneath the sun, I believe in you.